Usyk guy is talented. He's so talented. He's so small for a heavyweight too.
But the point is if you box with that boxer, you will lose. He is the best.
Winning an Olympic gold medal, clearing out cruiserweight, and now becoming the guy at heavyweight of his generation.
Joe Rogan couldn't stop raving about Oleksandr Usyk's stunning victory over Tyson Fury, calling him one of the best fighters ever. On his podcast, Rogan talked about how tough Fury's next fight with Usyk will be, especially after what he's already been through. Man, Usyk is no joke, Rogan said. He's so talented, and for a heavyweight, he's surprisingly small. But the way he moves, it's like he's always one step ahead. His footwork, his style, is just so different from everyone else. Rogan also pointed out how Usyk's unpredictable movement threw Anthony Joshua completely off his game. Joshua didn't know what to do, Rogan explained. You could see him thinking, where's this guy going to be when I punch? Usyk was everywhere, constantly moving, making it impossible to predict. The excitement in Rogan's voice was clear as he praised Usyk's skill and success. He's a phenomenal fighter, Rogan said, leaving no doubt that he believes Usyk is a rare talent in the boxing world. Joe Rogan really praised Oleksandr Usyk for his ability to outsmart and outmove his opponents, calling him a true technician in the heavyweight division. When you have someone like Joshua fast and with knockout power, he can do well without having the kind of technique that Usyk has, Rogan said. Joshua doesn't need all the small details in his game, but Usyk, he's got it all. Rogan then shared an interesting fact. Both Usyk and Vasily Lomachenko were trained by Lomachenko's father. That's where their incredible skills come from, Rogan explained. They've been taught to perfect every little part of the game, and it shows in the ring. Rogan also compared Usyk to other top-level fighters like Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev. These guys are just on another level, he said. They're not just strong, they've got unbelievable technique and discipline that makes them so dangerous. Rogan's excitement about Usyk and fighters like him was clear, showing just how much skill and strategy go into the sport of boxing. Joe Rogan couldn't help but rave about Usyk's boxing style, which he says is pure Soviet technique at its finest. You watch Usyk and you think, wow, this is next level stuff, Rogan said. It's rare to see that kind of skill in the heavyweight division, and that's what makes his fight with Fury so exciting. Rogan made it clear that if you're going up against Usyk, you're probably going to lose. He's the best, and it's hard to argue with his results, he said, showing just how much he believes in Usyk's talent. But even though Usyk's success speaks for itself, Rogan acknowledged that many fans, especially those who support Tyson Fury, still have a hard time accepting that Usyk is on another level. Let's be real for a moment. Why did Tyson Fury lose? I've been saying this for a while. There's really only one way to beat Oleksandr Usyk. I've said it before when Anthony Joshua fought him, and I've said it about every other opponent too. To have a shot at beating Usyk, you have to go in with a kill or be killed mindset, but even then, it's no guarantee you'll win. The point is, if you try to outbox Usyk, you're just playing into his game, and that's exactly what he wants. Here's the truth, if you try to outbox Usyk, you're going to lose. He's the best at that. I saw it in the first fight. Tyson Fury had some good moments early on, especially up until the 7th round. But after that, his energy faded, his punches weren't landing as well, and he stopped being much of a threat. If you're going to beat Usyk, you've got to go for it in those early rounds. You've got to go in with a kill or be killed mentality, or you're going to lose, no question about it. And I'm not saying it's easy. It's not about just rushing in blindly. You've got to be smart, strategic, and force the action when you can. This guy gets boxing like no one else. If you want to beat him, you've got to break the rules a little, do things that are unexpected and catch him off guard. When you land a good shot, you've got to go all in, empty your gas tank, and give it everything you've got. Don't just try to keep pace with him, race him. Because as soon as you start playing by the usual rules, he'll always come out on top. And it's not just Rogan who's been amazed by Usyk's unique skills, plenty of others see how special he really is. Experts can't stop talking about Usyk's incredible movement and how he's able to outmaneuver anyone in his way. His footwork is so smooth and precise that he closes the gap without effort, always putting pressure on his opponents with smart, calculated aggression. Unlike other boxers who rely on flashy moves or show off in the ring, Usyk is all about business, focused only on proving he's the best. And that movement, it's amazing. One thing I love about Usyk is how he's always right there in front of his opponent, ready to go. No hesitation, no playing around, just pure focus. Eleni Turkey, please make this fight happen. Usyk is the kind of fighter who's all about proving he's the best, no trash talk, no showboating. He's not here for drama, he just wants to fight. When he says, yes, we can do it, we'll fight again, you know he means it. After Usyk beats Daniel Dubois, and let's be honest, he's already beaten him, along with Anthony Joshua twice and Tyson Fury twice, there won't be much left for him to prove in boxing. At that point, he'll have done it all, and there's no doubt he's one of the best to ever do it. Usyk has the chance to leave boxing on top, stepping away from the sport to enjoy more time with his family, his wife, kids, and his sons who are into judo. It would be incredible for him to walk away from boxing while still at the peak of his career. Legendary trainer and analyst Teddy Atlas has shared his thoughts on Usyk's greatness, asking a question that's on everyone's mind: who can beat Oleksandr Usyk? Atlas has always praised Usyk's ability to adapt in the ring, especially his skill to adjust his strategy in the middle of a fight. That's what makes him stand out from the rest. There's no one quite like Usyk. He's the kind of fighter who always shows up and refuses to let a fight slip away. He knows that if he lets one more round go like that, the momentum could start swinging in his opponent's favor. So what does he do in the 6th round? He comes out strong and takes control. He dominates the round and keeps that energy going for the next 5. At least that's how I saw it on my scorecard. I'm not sure what the judges saw, but from my perspective, Usyk took charge and never looked back. In the 9th and 10th rounds, Usyk completely took over, controlling the fight for 5 straight rounds. Now, here's a question for you, just one word. Yes or no, do you think anyone in this era can beat Oleksandr Usyk? The answer might just be Father Time. Boxing experts like Spencer Oliver and John Rawling have broken down what makes Usyk so special. It's not just his skills in the ring, it's his discipline, humility, and commitment to his craft. These qualities inspire not only boxing fans but athletes in every sport. Usyk truly stands out as a role model. Usyk truly shows what it means to be a champion, not just with his fighting skills, but with who he is as a person. He's a man of his word and a superstar, both inside and outside the ring. We all know about the situation in Ukraine and what Usyk stands for, and that fire and passion follow him into every fight. You can see it in how he performs. He's an incredible person. By the time the fight hits round 9, you can feel things changing. The psychological battle starts to take its toll, and you can tell his opponents are starting to feel the pressure. As the fight goes on, you can see his opponents start to tire and fatigue sets in, but Usyk has this amazing ability to flip a switch when it's time to shine. In those final rounds, he steps it up, and that's what really separates him from others. He knows just when to turn up the pressure and has this incredible sense of the fight. If it's close, he'll always find that extra burst of energy. It's those last 30 seconds of a round that make all the difference. When it's tight and you're wondering who's going to pull ahead, Usyk always finds a way to finish strong. You can always feel when Usyk is about to take over, especially in the last 30 seconds of a round. He knows exactly when to switch it up and land those quick, sharp combinations that really stand out. Those are the moments that grab the judges' attention and stay with them. In those close, back and forth rounds, it's the big right hands or a little combo that can make all the difference. That's how he wins those tight rounds and keeps his edge in the fight. It was a close fight, but Usyk's performance was truly impressive. Combat sports journalist Luke Thomas couldn't help but admire how prepared and flawless Usyk was in the ring. He said Usyk's dominance completely shut down any critics who doubted his ability to stay on top. No matter what strategies people had planned against him, Usyk just tore them apart. He's like a wrecking ball, smashing through every challenge and showing why he's one of the best in the game. Usyk really showed us what he's made of today with an absolutely stunning performance, one for the books. I said it during the broadcast, and I'll repeat it for anyone just tuning in. Think about Mayweather in his prime. What made him so tough was his ability to control the fight. If you didn't grab enough rounds in the first half, you were in real trouble when the later rounds hit. It was his strength, his skill, and how he always turned things in his favor, and Usyk just proved he's got that same level of greatness. If you don't make your move in the first 6 rounds, things can go downhill fast, and Usyk has that ability to turn the fight around. He's not just good when the pressure's on, he excels in those crucial moments. We've seen it time and time again, whether it's at cruiserweight, taking on tough opponents like Breedis in the Super Series, or at heavyweight. Usyk knows how to rise to the occasion, and that's what makes him stand out. His list of achievements is proof that he has what it takes to win when everything's on the line. Oleksandr Usyk's boxing journey is nothing short of incredible. He's won an Olympic gold medal, unified the cruiserweight division, and now holds the heavyweight title. But what makes him truly stand out is his ability to rise to the occasion when it matters most. In this fight, he once again showed just how clutch he is, winning in a way that left people amazed. Even though the match was close, Usyk never looked shaken. There were moments of tension, especially with some of the odd scoring, but Usyk's composure and skill kept him in control from start to finish. He's a fighter who knows how to handle pressure and come through when it counts. Let's take a moment to talk about Usyk, the undefeated champion who's proven himself at the highest level of boxing. From winning an Olympic gold medal to clearing out the cruiserweight division and now holding the heavyweight crown, he's done it all. He's defeated top fighters like Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, and Daniel Dubois twice each. What truly sets him apart, though, is his movement in the ring. Experts rave about it, saying his footwork is the foundation of everything he does. It's smooth, precise, and makes him a nightmare for any opponent. Usyk's ability to glide around the ring is something fans and analysts alike can't stop marveling at. Let's talk about Oleksandr Usyk for a minute. This guy is a genius in the ring. He has this amazing ability to control the pace of the fight, and he knows exactly where to be and when to be there. He can outthink and outmaneuver much bigger opponents, which is something you don't see every day in boxing. Watching him fight, you can't help but realize just how skilled he is. He's like a puzzle that's so hard to crack.
Yeah.
Tyson Fury, for example, couldn't land many clean shots on him, and that wore him down over time. Sure, Tyson's bigger, but he was carrying a lot of extra weight. Despite that, you've got to give Fury credit, he still gave it a better go than many expected. But when it comes down to it, Usyk's movement, speed, and ring smarts make him one tough fighter to beat. When I saw him at the weigh-in, keeping his jacket on, I thought, something's off here. It made me wonder, why would you put in all that work and not be in the best shape from the outside? He seemed ready, but I had my doubts. Throughout the fight, I paid close attention to his corner. Every time the round ended, I'd turn up the volume to hear what they were saying. They gave him the right advice, but it felt more like they were trying to pump him up rather than give him real tactical direction. It was clear they were doing everything they could to keep his head in the game. Usyk's latest win really made a statement. His corner tried to pump him up, but it was clear from the start that he wasn't the one to beat Usyk. Usyk had him figured out. He knew exactly when to stand his ground and how to react to every move his opponent made. He'd counter every punch and even knew what was coming next, landing shots with amazing accuracy. It was clear from round one that Usyk was in control. He won every round, and the fight wasn't close. After this win, there's no denying it. Usyk is truly one of the best in the world right now. Usyk's latest victory is more than just another win, it's a statement to the world. He's proven he's not just a champion today, but one of the greatest of all time. With every fight, Usyk shows he's ready to be remembered as one of the legends of boxing. But here's the thing, he's not stopping. After this huge victory, you'd think he'd be satisfied, but nope, he's determined to keep building his legacy. He's not just a heavyweight champion now, he's setting his sights even higher, continuing to dominate and make his mark on the sport. And trust me, he's far from done. There's been some chatter about Usyk possibly dropping down in weight to fight Jai Opetaia, but honestly, I don't think that will happen. Usyk is already over 220 pounds, so it seems unlikely. As for Daniel Dubois, he's definitely looking for revenge, and we'll see what happens with that. But right now, Usyk is still the winner. When I watched the fight live, I thought it was really close. I could have seen it as a draw, or maybe 7-5 in Usyk's favor. Honestly, if it was scored 8-4 for Usyk, I wouldn't have been surprised it was that close. But when we talk about what makes someone a great fighter, Usyk stands out. His discipline, skill, and humility are what set him apart, and he's the kind of athlete that everyone can look up to. In a world where many fighters are focused on flashy moves and making a show, Usyk stands out for something different, his focus on being real and working hard. This is what makes him a true champion. When we talk about Oleksandr Usyk, we're talking about one of the greatest fighters of all time, not just in this generation, but in boxing history, especially in the heavyweight division. But I would go even further. Usyk is the standard of what a real fighter should be. He's the example of what it means to be genuine and dedicated in the ring.
It drove me crazy, but Oleksandr Usyk is a stud. That dude is so difficult to fight. He's got great movement. And this is, when we talk about it, he's faster. He's elusive. So Tyson misses a lot of shots on him, which only makes him tired. Tyson was too big, carrying too much weight. I'll give him credit. He actually performed better. When I looked at him at the weigh-in and he kept his jacket on, I was like, dude, you're telling me something.
Why'd you spend 3 months away if you weren't going to get yourself in tip? I felt like he was in good shape.
That's what it seemed like to me. I just looked at it and, his corner, I would turn on the sound when the round ended to see what his corner would say and stuff. And they were telling him, kind of the right stuff, but they were kind of trying to cheerlead him. They were cheerleading him, trying to get him going and stuff. And it was like, you're just not the guy that's going to end up beating Usyk. He's got your number, and he understands how to stand in front of you when you throw. He usually starts it. He knows your counter, and then he's countering your counter, and he's landing. And he landed at a much better percentage. He landed more shots. He easily won the fight. I didn't think it was close.
Oleksandr Usyk is a fighter who's never afraid to take on a challenge. I came across his fight history recently. I think it was Michael Benson from Ring Magazine, posted about his last 14 fights, and it's nothing short of impressive. Let me break it down for you. Usyk was 9-0 when he faced Krzysztof Glowacki in Poland back in 2016. Since then, he's been on a tear. He's beaten some of the biggest names in boxing, including Glowacki, Maris Briedis, Michael Hunter, Marco Huck, and others across the globe, from Poland to America, Germany, Russia, and the UK. Now, even though Tyson Fury showed more energy and effort in their fight than he had before, it still wasn't enough to stop Usyk. Usyk's strategy and execution were just too much for him. This fight proved once again that Usyk is one of the most dangerous and skilled fighters in the world today. He's not just about winning, he's about dominating in a way that few others can. In this latest fight, Tyson Fury definitely stepped up his game compared to their last meeting. One thing he did better was being more active throughout the fight. Usually when Usyk steps into the ring, he's all over his opponent from the start. He comes out swinging, always ready to throw a jab or body cross, setting the tone right away. But in their first fight, Usyk was the one pushing the pace, while Fury was a bit slower to start. In this rematch though, Fury seemed to adjust, coming in with more energy and trying to match Usyk's fast pace. It showed that Fury was making an effort to improve, but despite his increased activity, Usyk's skill and strategy still made him the more dominant fighter. In this fight, Tyson Fury tried a different approach. He wasn't rushing in like before. Instead, he used his jab more, staying patient and controlling the distance. He would throw a 1-2 punch, step back, and almost act like he had all the time in the world. He used his size to his advantage, trying to tire out Usyk. Even though the rounds were close, I felt like Fury didn't do enough to win them. He would land a few punches, then hold Usyk to break his momentum. It was a back-and-forth fight, but you couldn't ignore how Fury was trying to control things, even if it wasn't always working. In boxing, I always feel like I need about 4 or 5 minutes per round. The real action starts to pick up around the 2.5-minute mark. That's when the fight begins to get exciting, and you can feel the energy build. But just as things are getting really interesting, the round ends and they get a quick 1-minute break. Then they're right back at it. If we had those extra minutes, that's when the fight really starts to heat up, and it would make it even more thrilling to watch. Watching the fight, it was tough because just when they started to really go at it, the round would end. It felt like they were finally getting into the action, and then just like that, it would stop. Teddy Atlas had been saying all week that Usyk would win, and he was pretty confident about it. He pointed out that Usyk's ability to adjust during the fight and stick to his plan were the key things that would lead him to victory. Usyk has this knack for knowing exactly how to win, and he does it by staying focused and following his strategy every step of the way. After his win, Teddy Atlas captured what truly makes Usyk stand out. Usyk, in his usual humble manner, credited his victory to sticking to the exact plan his coach, Yuri, laid out for him. "I just followed the plan." Usyk said, emphasizing his trust in his team and his discipline to stick to the strategy. This ability to stay focused and execute a solid game plan is one of the big reasons why Usyk continues to shine in boxing. When asked if he was confident going into the final round, knowing he was ahead on points, Usyk simply stayed calm and assured, never letting the pressure get to him. His unwavering focus and commitment to his plan made all the difference. Usyk kept it simple and humble when reflecting on his win, saying, "I just followed the plan my coach, Yuri, gave me." He admitted that while it wasn't an easy fight, it was easier than the first one. WBO cruiserweight champion Lawrence Okolie also weighed in, saying it was a good fight and Usyk won because of his conditioning. Okolie pointed out how important Usyk's preparation was in keeping up his performance throughout the entire fight. This focus on staying fit and strong round after round is a huge reason why Usyk keeps winning, and it shows just how dedicated he is to his craft, giving him a significant edge over opponents who struggle to keep up with his relentless pace. Just want to give your reaction on the outcome of the fight. I thought it was a fantastic fight. You know, it was 2 NTR. I did win the fight personally. How's it going? How's it going? How are you? I did think he won the fight, but it was just a great fight. Did you think that the weight had any factor? Did you think of Tyson coming in heavier? I think it did have a fact, so it depth in different parts, so he was able to, in parts, get hold of him, lean on him, and put a little bit of good work in the body shots and stuff. But then I do think that down the straight, because he was able to, the conditioning did back in the last few rounds, where Alexander has made it clear that he plans to win or lose. He was going to go back down to cruiserweight. What do you make of him wanting to make an appearance there? I can't see it personally. I think he's probably weighing 225 too. So, and I could maybe bridge weight, because that's bridge weight 225. So he was 226. Maybe, I don't know, I can't see. I just think it is a big jump to drop 20 or 25 to box. I don't know who you like. Legendary ring announcer Michael Buffer described the bout as a close fight that could have gone either way. While Buffer didn't fully agree with the judge's final decision, he praised Usyk for his relentless energy and likened him to a machine with big batteries that never stop.
What did you make of the scorecards there? 116, 112 and all of them?
They all had the same score. There were some variances on different rounds, but I thought it was a closer fight. It might even go on either way, but what can I say?
What did you make of Tyson's performance this time? A heavier Tyson Fury. What did you actually make of his performance this time out?
I thought he was more active with his jab. He used his size and reach and everything. Usyk is like a machine, though. He's just got a big battery that never stops.
Do you think he's unbeatable, Oleksandr Usyk, in this era? Do you think he's unbeatable in this era, Usyk?
No, nobody's unbeatable. Nobody's unbeatable. Muhammad Ali in his prime isn't here today, so.
Just lastly, Michael, good performance there from Tyson. Many people did have it close. Where do you think he goes next?
Tyson?
Yeah. An Anthony Joshua fight, maybe?
He could pack Wembley with an Anthony Joshua fight for sure.